YouTube. So now you've had the emotions, you've seen the house, you went to the bank, you are going to buy a house. You are going to buy a house. You are, get the approvals, all happy, everything. You put down the deposits, you sign the contracts, you go through the lawyers. Everything is all hunky-dory. And now this house is being transferred into your name. And all of a sudden, it hits you. You're like, do I really, really need this house? Do I really want this house in this neighborhood? Now, this is when reality sets in. And it is called buyer's remorse.
The last few years, in fact, in the last 5 or 6 years, are having a home buyer's remorse. They are regretting. Why are they regretting? Several things. Well, they bought houses at higher prices, at higher interest rate, especially the ones who bought in 23, 24, and 25.
What are the interest rates now? 6%? 6.5%? I don't know. 5.5%? But they were 2% just a few years ago.
Paid 6%, 7%, 7.5%, paid the higher prices. But more than that, the buyer's remorse is coming from the high increased insurance cost, the high increased property taxes, and the high cost of maintenance. As you know, when you buy a house, you have the principal, interest, tax, and insurance payments, PITI. Your principal and interest may be fixed, but your tax and insurance is never fixed. It goes up every year. But in the last 2 years, they have doubled, tripled, quadrupled on insurance and property taxes. So the payments may have gone from $2,500 to $4,000 or $2,500 to $2,800. On top of that, every house that is bought has maintenance and upgrades, usually anywhere from 1 to.
So all of a sudden, I mean, you budgeted for the down payments and your mortgage payments, but now when reality hits, it's maintenance, it's insurance. We've looked at one of the previous videos, you can go and check it out somewhere. Property taxes, when they like revalue your property. And then also when somebody buys and all the price comes in like at 500,000 and now you want to resell it, but you are still paying off massive amounts of interest, and so your value of your property is not going up, and that monthly payment on your mortgage is just eating away at you.
3% of the purchase price. In other words, if you bought a house for $400,000, figure to pay $4,000 to $8,000 per year on average on maintenance costs, repair costs, upgrade costs. But that has gone up because of the tariffs, because of the inflation. Homeowners Association has gone up. Everything else has gone up. And to make matters worse, everybody's medical insurance premiums, medical costs has gone up as well. So if you look at all those factors, principal, interest, fixed, the taxes, insurance, electricity, utilities, medical bills, food bills, bananas, eggs, everything's gone up. And
it's the extra stuff, right? I mean, if everything just stayed at a normal price for the past 3 or 4 or 5 years, this would have been a different conversation. But everything else has gone up. And now all of a sudden your homeowners association goes up. Fuck, what do? I mean, all of a sudden your water pump in your house breaks, or there's mold in the walls, you didn't pay for a proper inspection. You, as the homeowner, has to now fork out massive amounts just to fix that. So there is an argument for renting. I know the old saying is like, why pay off somebody else's mortgage if you can pay off your own? But in today's economy and inflation, I don't know if it's that smart of an idea to just walk in blindly and buy a property.
There's a lot of people losing their homes. So if you're a buyer, be cautious, figure out all your exact numbers right now and what they will be after 3 or 4 or 5 years. Nobody does that, but it's time people started doing that. Hit me up and I can refer you to somebody you can talk to give you specific numbers in your area starting now. Or
okay, cool. Thanks, Mike. His Twitter, his TikTok is Mike Moves You. He sounds like a man that knows what he's talking about. Have some information. Comments there. Rents have also gone up. So what do we do now? Live on the road as homeless? No, Cyber, I agree. Rents have gone up, but at least as the person who rents, you can pick up the phone and phone the owner and be like, yes, hello mate, come and fix the stove. The sink doesn't work. Send somebody and come and fix it. And the homeowner has to do it. He has to fork out that payments. Whereas, I mean, what's the worst that can happen as a renter? You can lose your deposit, but you can take your shit and you can move. Not have to deal with this house. What does Matt say there? I bought 2 houses in the Bay Area. I don't regret. I'm very happy. Nice. Well done. Well done, Matt. I mean, did you buy in the past 2 or 3 years? Because buying 5 or 6 years back when your mortgage was like $1,000 and now all of a sudden your mortgage is like $4,000. There is a massive difference for the same property. What does this fucker say here? Ali Dog. Where's Ali Dog? I just bought 2 houses at 6.75 to rent them both out. Holy shit. Do you actually get back the rent money for what you would pay for them? If that's the case, Ali Dog, that's wonderful, mate. Well done for you. This is what buyer's remorse feels like. You pick the wrong house, wrong spouse, wrong career. Remorse, mate.
And continuing to allow for y'all to buy homes, and it was open houses where it was out the door and people was just bidding it up like crazy. And now there's a bunch of people that got buyer's remorse because A, they can't afford the home, B, they can't afford the property taxes, C, the payments is gonna keep coming through, and D, layoffs is here, all right? And now they telling y'all because y'all bought houses further out.
Shit, that's another problem of this economy, right? I mean, mass layoffs are just coming in waves now. So what the heck, what do you do now? I mean, we are all like 1 or 2 paychecks away from living under the bridge. What do we do?
You thought that you was gonna live on farmland for the rest of your life and stuff like that. Y'all bought houses further out, and they told y'all, because y'all, changed your life based off of the fact that you thought that you was gonna be doing your call center job from home for the rest of your life. And they changed your life around, and so now you got to go back into work, and the federal workers is all scrambling and running around because they got to return to the office, and they keep talking about how I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, all right, you're going to take your butt into the office, or you're going to lose your job. And the one thing that I know about people is regardless of how you feel, they're always going to make sure that they can feed themselves, in most instances, right? So
I agree, and now you're far away from where you should drive towards your job, and morning commute. It's like an hour one way, an hour back in the evenings. I mean, you are rushed, everything is rushed. All of a sudden, you become unhappy if you are like 30 or 40 miles outside of a city and you have to go into the city center every single day for your job.
the point that I'm making is that a lot of people are experiencing buyer's remorse, right? They are blaming the federal government. They're blaming their local realtor, they'll blame the market, they'll blame jobs, they'll blame Kamala Harris, Biden, Trump, whatever you want to say. But they're not blaming their own decision making and making a decision based off of where you're going to be and not where you're at. And you have to make sure that everything you do, you dress for the job that you're going into, you dress for the situation that you're going to be in, you dress for the home that you plan to be in long term, not for your current circumstances. When people buy homes, when people pick spouses, when people make purchases, when people go and buy stuff for people during Christmas time, and then they plan on paying it off for the rest of the year, and nobody even knows or remembers what they bought that person for Christmas, they are going to have buyer's remorse. And that is the thing that you do not want to have under any circumstances, because it never plays out in the way that you think that it is. And this.
Yeah, I mean, life happens and life changes a lot. I mean, if you are a young couple buying a nice looking little house with white picket fences out somewhere in the suburbs, it's all great until your kid 3 years down the line has to find a school, and you have to like drive around to find the school area, or you didn't check the, what you call it, these guys that check your house before it's being sold to you. You didn't pay them to do the correct inspections and stuff like that. You just like wavered that part, and all of a sudden you find out like fucking your basement is falling out, or there are rats in your roof, and then things happen. Life happens, bad things happen. People get divorced. They build a new gas station next to your house.
This is why it's better to make long-term, smarter decisions instead of making short-term emotional decisions, which men are more than likely used to. But I'm seeing a lot of guys in their feminine energy, and they're focused on how they feel.
Okay, I don't really want to talk about men and their feminine energy now. This is about home buyers' remorse. So all I'm saying is, I mean, don't make a short-term purchase for a long-term, effect that it can have on you. Austin City Properties. Why I regret buying this investment property. I thought buying a duplex in San Antonio, Texas would be a great investment. So he bought a duplex.
Worst investment decision of my life. I know what you're thinking. You always hear, buy real estate to become wealthy, buy a duplex, rent out both sides, you're gonna have cash flow. But my friends, that's not my side of the story. Let me tell you why I regret buying this 100-year-old property in San Antonio, Texas. First of all, this place is older than Uncle Sam. And with that comes never-ending repairs. Just this January, I had to drop a $2,500 bill on sewer line repair. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of repairs, and you as the homeowner, you have to fold the bill.
Not exactly the kind of New Year's resolution I had in my mind. And because these repairs aren't cheap, I can't always afford fancy contractors. So guess who gets to do the work? Me! Which means I have to take time out of my already busy life, drive to San Antonio, and roll up my sleeves. Oh, and then there's tenant drama. The family downstairs, I'm lucky, chillest people ever. But upstairs, just left last month with no notice, no last month rent, and left the place looking like a tornado.
You see, and one of the previous comments said something about rent. Rent is also very expensive. But I mean, a renter can do this. And what do you do as the owner? You just have to clean up and fucking re-rent the place.
So yep, good luck to me chasing the now for $1,000. And my friends, that's why I regret buying this duplex at this stage and point of my life. But that doesn't mean that's the case always. Think twice, think wisely before you put your money anywhere.
Nice. Yeah, it's not always sunshine and roses to be able to go and buy a house or a duplex or a complex or a whatever. Go and buy. It's a massive financial decision, and we'll see. It can let's just listen to this girl first.
First townhome, and it's 2025 and our home has not gained any equity. Nothing. Nothing at all. I could go into this. I'm still so mad at myself about this. I actually got my real estate license and I was going to be a realtor. Anyways, I was the one that was the realtor for our purchase. My broker was not helpful at all. Not at all. I made such a big financial mistake. I mean, clearly, right? We have no equity.
I thought this can refresh there. What is happening there?
Welcome back to House Shopping.
She has like
In
no
2022,
equity.
we purchased our first townhome.
Yeah, this is
Such a big financial mistake. I mean, clearly, right? We have no equity in our home. We overpaid completely. Broker didn't care. She got a nice cut off of our sale. So many things went wrong, like so many things. I still can't get over it. Obviously, I'm talking about it. It's 2025. I'm still not over it. I could do a whole series of like this, but it's insane. Anyone have any advice on how to get over these things? Because don't know how to forgive myself for.
So she has now bought a house, paid off the lawyer fees and whatever, and she hasn't made any profit. But I mean, is that not how it goes on anything? I mean, it's not as if you just, after the day or the month that you've bought it now, the next month you're going to make money. I mean, lawyer fees needs to be discounted, and especially interest rates. I mean, if they are the same as credit cards, then 70-80% of your monthly payments will go towards interest. That's just how it goes. Is this a serious? No, I'm honestly not sure if I'll be doing a series because of some reason. This video triggered so many people. No, I don't know. I mean, personally, I just think we are a little bit hasty. I mean, you can't just buy something and like in a month or 2 months or in a year just expect it to sell it for a profit. It doesn't really work that way. Yeah, and I mean, if interest rates come down, they work opposite, right? So if interest rates come down, the price, there would be more people willing to buy, and you would be able to raise your selling price a little bit, I'm sure. So don't be too discouraged. Why I would not recommend buying a house. Girl gone feral.
Obviously, everyone wants different things. Every market is different. Everyone's personal financial situation is different. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, we live just outside of Austin, and we bought a house, and houses here are just very expensive. So, like, we couldn't really get a cheap house. So our house is
Really? So the lifestyle creep and keeping up with the Joneses had nothing to do with it? I don't know. Looking at her eyebrows, I mean, do one do that by yourself, or do you actually pay somebody to do it? That's just an observation, Jay. But they chose to buy a more expensive house.
little pricey. And we bought about 2 years ago, and we did a new build, so we didn't have to put a lot of money down, which was great. But anyway, when we like signed the contract to buy the house, it was still being built. By the time we closed, interest rates had gone up by like almost a full percentage point. And we also locked in when house prices were the highest. So basically we bought it like the worst time possible in, you know, the past few years. But then like 2 months of living in that house, I realized that I did not want to live there. It's way too far from all of our favorite stuff. It's way too expensive. It's too much space, honestly. Like, I don't like having to care for that much space. And I don't like feeling locked down. Like, I don't like feeling like we can't just like pick up and move when our lease is up or something.
But that is what happens when you buy a house. These are decisions that you should make before you sign the papers. I mean, you know that you're locking yourself in for X amount of years. You can't just pick up your shit and go and travel for a year. You should be quite settled.
It took my husband longer to realize he felt the same way, but he also feels the same way. We decided that we would try to sell our house because we were like, we're just not happy here. Like, this wasn't the best decision for us. Like, let's just go. And we listed it like a year and a half, tried to list it at a price where we would at least break even. And obviously we haven't sold yet. It's been a year and a half. At this point,
Because you want to bring in, you want to recuperate all the fees that you paid for that house, all the lawyer fees and all the agent fees and everything. Now you want to just pass that on to the next person at a 6% interest rate. You made a shit decision to buy at such a high price, such a high rate, and now you just want to pass it on to somebody else. But on top of that, you want to get your own money back as well.
we are taking a huge loss on the house and taking out a personal loan to cover it, which I know sounds crazy, but our rent will be so drastically cheaper that even with a personal loan payment each month, we are each still saving like $1,000 a month once we move to an apartment. I don't necessarily...
Wow. So they are prepared to take the loss on the house, take out a personal loan, cover the loss on the house just to break even, and then go and rent, and that would still be cheaper than paying the mortgage on the house. Holy shit. I mean, you just get deeper and deeper into trouble, right? Buying a home isn't the problem. You just bought the wrong home. Yeah, the agent must probably saw you coming, right? It so depends. The best decision I ever made was buying a home. There we go.
One of the biggest regrets.
I think this might actually be...
One of the biggest
Okay. Let's go. Biggest
regrets I have is buying a house with a pool. And if you've never owned a pool, you probably think, oh, it's a good idea. Oh, it's so cool. It's nice. It's this, it's that. Yeah, it totally isn't. And I might be biased because I live in Massachusetts and the weather here is just so horrible, even in the summer, that it makes it not worth it. Last summer, from I believe the third week of June till the end of the summer, for 10 to 12 straight weekends, it rained. An entire...
Oh shit, that's bad, hey? You have a pool and on weekends when you are free or when you have some time, you just want to go and take a dip. But during the week and whenever, whether you use a pool or not, maintenance has to be paid. Upkeep, chlorine must be bought, the pumps must be run, fixed. It rained the entire summer. Shit, bro. Yeah, that's shit.
Summer. I probably used that thing 10 days.
Oh.
It absolutely is not worth it. They're super expensive to maintain. It's very hard to find a consistent cleaner to come and clean it every week for a reasonable price, so you usually have to do it yourself. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Wow, yeah, that's something else that one has to consider, right? I mean, if there are things that you have to upkeep on your property. Yeah, swimming pools, solar panels, I guess. I've seen some people bitching and moaning about solar panels. So much. Comments. Yeah, you have it in the wrong state. Here in Arizona, it's a necessity. Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, what's good for you is maybe not good for me. But this is his experience. I'm surprised appraisers give so much value to pools. Yeah, that is true, right? But you as the buyer don't really think about what is happening behind the scenes when you have it. All right, and then let's finish up here. Buyer's remorse. I didn't know this, but it makes sense. Between when you sign for the purchase, and there's like a period of transfer, and if you have buyer's remorse and you cancel in that period, you have big shit coming your way. Let's listen.
I'm talking to people who have buyer's remorse. You bought a house in March, closing in May or June. You feel it is now worth less than what you paid for it. And you're thinking, let's not close and see what happens. Don't. Not only will you lose your deposits, but the seller will have to resell the property at today's prices. You will also have to pay the difference in sale prices, plus all the carrying costs, legal fees, and more. If you decide not to close, this will be your most expensive decision in your life.
Wow.
Take it from me, I'm Jamie Johnston.
Thanks, Jamie. I didn't know this. So I would have assumed, yes, you're going to lose your deposit. But he says if the seller, I mean, you as a buyer, you don't want this house anymore. So you're going to lose your deposit, any fees or whatever that you've paid towards it. But then if the seller goes and he sells that house at a lower price, then you, as the buyer who chickened out, you are responsible for the price difference. We'll just listen to that again. But so in my mind, you want to buy $1 million house, you've paid all your deposits and everything, okay, now you're going to lose it. That's fine, but you don't have this house. Okay, you'll lose all your deposits and your lawyer fees. And then the seller sells that house for $800,000, then you as the buyer are still responsible for $200,000. You don't have the fucking house. It's just boom, there's an extra debt. Let's just listen to that again. That is my understanding from this.
I'm talking to people who have buyer's remorse. You bought a house in March, closing in May or June. You feel it is now worth less than what you paid for it. And you're thinking, let's not close and see what happens. Don't. Not only will you lose your deposits, but the seller will have to resell the property at today's prices. You will also have to pay the difference in sale prices, plus all the carrying costs, legal fees, and more. If you decide not to close, this will be your most expensive decision in your life.
Wow. This can be this decision, this emotional decision to want to buy a house, and then reality hits you and now you're closing it. This can become a total nightmare in your life. Wow, guys, you have to really think about it before signing on those dotted lines to buy a property. Yeah, this is just to continue with the series of home buyers. Next up, we'll look at some renters from hell and some landlords from hell. Yeah, they are there. All right, YouTube, have a good one. See you on the next one. Cheers, guys.